Today, let's talk about relation, the third virtue of navigatorship. Keywords related to relations are family, love, partnership, mercy, trust, communication, modesty, and consilience. 1. Relation. Two or more people, things, phenomena are related or related to each other. 2. Family. A group of people who are mainly related to married couples, or its members. 3. Love. A heart that loves and respects a person or a certain existence. 4. Partnership. To make a pair in trading, dancing, competition, playing, etc. Or cooperating in pairs. 5. Mercy. I deeply love and have mercy for others. Or benefits to give from such a mind. 6. Trust. Firmly trusting and relying. 7. Communication. Your thoughts and meanings are intertwined. 8. Modesty. There is an attitude that respects others and does not put oneself out. 9. Consilience. Widely communicated in things. Why don't you think about a definition of relation yourself for a while? Stop this video for about 10 minutes until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. The dictionary concept of relation is that two or more people, things, phenomena are related or related to each other. There is an old saying, with 1 million, we buy a house, but with 10 million, we buy a neighbor. In the Chinese ancestral era, an official named Song Ye retired. He set up a new house, but the house he bought was not a nice and school-friendly house that others recommended, but a neighbor of a man named Yo Sung Jin. The rumor was that he bought a house with a value of only 1 million but paid 10 million, so people asked him why he paid that much expensively. Then Song Ye said that he bought a house with 1 million and bought a neighbor with 10 million. Meaning is relation and relationship is effort. It is a way to increase the relationship by cherishing relations and making people happy. A person is another microcosm. If you meet someone, you meet a new universe, and if you give someone pain, they hurt the universe. If someone leaves, think of it as a separation from the universe. Whether he is good or bad, one person is a universe. The love with the suffering is happiness. Sometimes we find reason to live because we are with people, which makes it difficult. Human relations can be broadly divided into sharing and exchanging relations. Sharing relations are relationships based on each other's happiness and interest, such as friends, lovers, families, and priest relationships. An exchanging relationship is a relationship formed by mutual interests like a business relation. Empowering us is basically a sharing relationship. This sharing relationship is possible only through mutual understanding and mutual interaction. Only the sharing relationship satisfies the desire of a true relationship and helps to develop autonomy. If you make an effort to exchange, you can develop into a sharing relationship. At first, we met somebody as a client, but he gradually became good friends. We can go far if you go together. You can stand up again if you go together. You will see key scenes from a film set in Thailand, which was heavily damaged by the tsunami of the December 26, 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake. It is a moving film that reminds us of the importance of family.
Get your stuff, don't forget all your bags.
Lucas.
What?
You know, you could try being a bit nicer to your brother. He's just scared.
Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't it great?
Here, Dad. Dad, they are the worst This one.
Go get it, Lucas.
Never do that to me again, Mom. Never do that to me again, Mom.
I'm here.
Never do this to me again.
We have to find Susan.
Lucas! Lucas!
Dad!
Lucas!
think of this picture? Write 10 people who you meet frequently and their salary. Except for the family and the colleagues in your workplace, if you do not know their annual salary, it could be estimated. There would be no big difference between your salary and the salaries of those who you meet frequently, except for those who you meet in the family and the workplace. It is because it is easy to meet people of similar level. It is also important why people meet. Stop this video for about 10 minutes until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. Now let's make the family motto of your family. Stop this video for about 10 minutes until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. Family motto is the teachings that ancestors or adults of a family give their offspring and considered as a traditional morality of the family. If there is a motto at home, write down the motto, and if there is no motto yet, make a motto here. The following are some of the materials that can be used as a motto. Dr. Junhu Lee introduced the home charter of Yeti. First, we love each other and build a happy family in the house of Yeti. Second, we want each family to have a unique sense of values and religion and live without interference. We share and enjoy the same thing and recognize and respect differences. Third, we agree that no matter how good the world is, there is nothing without me, and no matter how precious I am, I do not exist without the world. Fourth, we share our progressive and affirmative thoughts and always try to serve and practice with our neighbors. Fifth, we wish that our children will grow up with dreams in the house of Yeti, grow body and mind healthy, and grow up as pillars of society. Now, why don't you think about persons you give your hand to and persons you receive hands from? Stop this video for about 10 minutes until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. The difference between an adult and a child is that an adult is a giver, and a child is a recipient. If you just receive even in old age, you are just a child. It is said that the happiest person spent the least time alone, but the most time for social activities, and had as much good interpersonal relationship is recognized by most. While they have a lot of opportunities to engage in enthusiasm and involvement in anything with an extroverted and sociable personality, the happiness index gets higher with positive feedback from people. The energy gained from others is distributed to the family, friends, and people around them, making them happy. A survey of the Carnegie Foundation for 5 years for 10,000 people who have been socially successful in the U.S. shows that the most important factor for success is professionalism at 15% and human relations at 85%. There is an African saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. But go together if you want to go far away. Write down the words you use most often. After writing 10 words, mark a circle for words with affirmative feeling, and mark 10 for words with negative feeling, and a triangle for words with neutral feeling. Try to change words with negative feelings into positive words with similar feelings. Stop this video for about 10 minutes until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. There is an old Chinese saying, the wrong mouth is like an axe that hurts people, and the wrong word is like a knife that cuts my tongue. Gandhi said, think first, then say it. Stop it before you hear a word of stop. The reason why humans are higher than beasts is because humans have an ability to speak. However, if a person exerts such ability unfairly without hesitation, he is not better than a beast. The cut on the sword is healed, but the cut on the tongue is etched in the heart forever. You must use the time wasting to blame others to cultivate your dream. The strongest muscle of human beings is the tongue. Instead, you brandish such a horrible, deadly weapon as tongue. Each other, control it a little bit more and be kind a little bit more. Then the world will get a lot more peaceful. How big or strong it is does not matter. It can also lift someone up very quickly without much effort and break down thousands or even tens of thousands of people. It is scientifically proven that a word becomes a seed. You should always think importantly about what you say frequently. It's frustrating me. I always look at my luck. If you often say such a word, the word is entered into the brain via the auditory organ. Then it releases the poisonous stress hormone, and eventually becomes completely annoying. There is a marking effect on the word that is strong enough to be buried in the bone. It is called brain stroke because everyday's words are put on the brain strongly. Instead of spooky words, you need to habitually say good words like I love you, thank you, and pleasant. The reason why there are two eyes and ears of a person but only one mouth is the gods will to look more interested in the world and people around you, and to hear more with their heart. The reason for the relatively small number of mouths is that you have to choose the expression more carefully and speak more carefully. Even though your eyes and ears see and hear a lot, those do not hurt somebody, but if you open your mouth wrong, it could be an act of throwing your dagger to somebody, or to your own foot. For reference, here are 10 ways to be careful about the words Dr. Kainbuli suggests. 1. Do not say bad words. The words of shame and depreciating are the worst methods. 2. Never say what your opponent hates most. Everyone really does not want to hear it. That is a primer. If you touch it, then it will explode. 3. Let us avoid words that compare with others. If you are compared with others, you feel really bad. 4. Do not attack with words that ignore personality. If somebody touches your ego, it is hard to recover. You will get only grudges. 5. Do not torture your opponent. Do not touch your opponent's family under any circumstances. 6. Please bear a bombshell declaration. Let's split up. Let's divorce. I will resign, and so on. It is the last word at the end. 7. We need a humorous conversation skill. There is no need to be serious about any story. 8. Clear words do not leave a misunderstanding. Definite yes and sure practice can be done well. 9. Do not say a twisted word. You would better be silent when the mind is twisted. 10. There are some poisonous words killing people. Words could be the most terrible poison or the best medicine in the world. The lexical concept of relations is that two or more people, things, phenomena are related or related to each other. The principle of relationship 13,579 is to meet with 3 people in a day, 5 people to make phone calls, 7 to email, 9 people to expand relationships through SNS. If you repeat the principle of relationship 13,579 continuously, it will be 200 days excluding holidays, so there will be some duplication, but we will meet 600 people and call 1,000 people. Send email to 1,400 people. Communicate with 1,800 people through SNS. It is important to keep things constant. Unless holidays and special occasions occur, if you continue to spread the relationship, you will be able to build good relationships with many people in 10 years' time. The shape of water varies depending on which container it is in, but the fate changes depending on which friend you meet. The way a person lives begins and ends with a relationship. At first, you were born as a child of another person, parent-child relationship, making friends, friendship, working or doing business, peer relationship, getting married, marital relationship, having children, parent-child relationship, and various relationships with the surrounding lives. Human relations, labor relations, inter-Korean relations, diplomatic relations, etc. are formed, and then another relationship is again formed. This relationship has to be win-win because there are opponents. It is a win-win relationship when the opponent and I survive together. Today, when the globe is forming a community in the sea of mobile web and apps, there are a lot of pilgrims who can go to the destination faster and more accurately than to climb the mountain. If you would like to occupy something just for yourself, you cannot get anything. The human relation is like a word of giving a peck and getting a bushel. As you have lost a little bit, it is in the long run to be more profitable. Successful people already know and practice these laws. There is a common point to people whose friends are always around and become core lovers of the guest room. They want to spread just about anything, and they are willing to pay for it. A real shopkeeper is not greedy for 100% or 120% assurance of his investment. A person who wants to hog his own self is more likely to suffer even more damage, rather than making a profit. There is a proverb that says, if you cross just one bridge, you know everybody. In 1967, American social psychologist Stanley Milgram conducted an interesting letter relay experiment from Nebraska to Boston. The letters were delivered to somebody they know and almost arrived finally at the target person. It was only 6 times. The concept of separation of the 6 stages is a concept that everyone knows by 6 stages. If one person says that he knows about 100 people, there are 100 people in phase 1, 10,000 people in phase 2, 1 million people in phase 3, and 100 million people in phase 4. Theoretically, 50 million people in the Republic of Korea can shake hands after going through 4 stages, even if they are not duplicated. Kevin Bacon game is similar. It is a game that connects Kevin Bacon with other actors with as few movies as possible. Charlie Chaplin just crosses 2 phases and most Hollywood actors meet everybody across 5 phases. On the mobile social network, you will be a person who knows everybody if you cross just one bridge. In recent years, there have been laws that openly threaten the 6-stage rule, which is 6 pixels of separation. The 6-pixel rule is claimed by online marketing specialist Mitch Joel, who says past business relationships have already lost efficiency in modern society through networking and preformed relationships. Thus, in recent years or in the future, pixels, which are very small units, will form the most important basis in all relationships, and that the use of digital channels or self-media channels is the key to business. In social media such as Twitter and Facebook, new ways of networking, information are provided and shared. This is the biggest advantage of social media, and the reason why the 6-pixel law can be established. The dictionary concept of the family is a group or a member of people who are in a kinship relationship, mainly a couple. Family is the beginning and the end of human life. The most basic relationship of society starts from family relations. Everything collapses when family relations collapse in a network of individual family organizations, society, state, world. The first step to understanding and loving me is the rediscovery of the family. Families do not know when they stick together. However, if one of the family members who are comfortable like water and air is mistaken, it will be difficult for the rest of the family to live. Such a community of fate we cannot control is the name of a family. When there are family members who want to pour out encouragement and courage to each other, the thing holding a warm hand in the family members to fall down is surprisingly powerful when the family is caught in a storm. The harder, the better the family is. Is there any word more affectionate than the word of family that lives interacting closely in the world? No matter how sad things are, even if things go wrong, family members are often forgiven for their affection. The name of the family contains reconciliation and forgiveness. Even a lie among them could be considered a charm. Even parents have some problem. They say to their children, "We are at ease. Do not worry about us, you should just keep your health." If the family lives together, they easily forget their existence. But, when one of them leaves, the rest of the family is embarrassed. Families become vitamins that comfort their minds when hard times and difficult times come. And when they are tired, family power exerts the best of healing. So the harder the world, the more you miss your family. The harder and the more difficult the world is, the more we need encouragement and support from someone. This is also true for elementary school athletics running games. When a child runs hard, he needs to cheer, but when he falls down while running, and all he wants to do is just to cry, the child will decide his next action according to the face of mom and dad watching him. When his mom and dad see the fallen child and reprimand him for a mistake, the child collapses and cries. Because there is nothing else that can be done in such an atmosphere. But when mom and dad are holding their fists tightly and cheering, saying, "The result of the match is not so important and come on. Bear up and rise up again even for people watching you." The child is then proud of even his appearance of falling down but rising again and rushes towards the finish line. It is not only the child. The courage and encouragement to breathe each other under one roof is the light of love that allows each person to share warmth with each other in their minds when the world is difficult as it is now. In the Talmud, which contains Jewish wisdom and wits, it is said that the man's house is the wife and the family is the best resting place. If a couple really loves each other, they can sleep in a narrow bed that is even as wide as a blade. And if the couple begin to hate each other, they will find that a large bed over 10 meters wide is too narrow. The Talmud also said, "The happiest man in the world is a man who has got a good wife, and what he cannot change with anything in the world is an old wife he got married to when he was young." It is important for a couple to honor each other. The first verse in Anna Karenina of Leo Tolstoy says that happy families are all similar, unhappy families are unhappy for different reasons. A happy family is not anxious, but healthy and reconciled. But an unhappy family becomes unhappy because of so many different reasons of problems related to affection, money, or children. The big families living together are said to have 5 things in common. Firstly, there are many family conversations and laughs. Secondly, they are honest, always diligent. Thirdly, they have a regular life. Fourth, marriage age and ages of the first childbirth were fast. Fifth, they usually keep alcohol and cigarettes away. The home has to be comfortable and peaceful so that you can work well. The home is the source of competitiveness. The lexical concept of love is a mind or something that is treasured and precious to any person or being. Love is to do now, not later. At this moment you live, love includes everything. Love is a heart that values yourself, others, and God. There is love between man and woman, love between husband and wife, love between parent and children, love between friends, and so on. Everybody and things are the objects of love. Love is the most beautiful promise we can make among people. Love makes everything possible. A lot of people have talked and sang about love. It is hard to find more beautiful value than one of this love that transcends the border and age. It is love that brings peace of mind and rest to the world. Robert Sternberg talked about intimacy, passion, and covenant as the three components of love and love technology. Intimacy is an emotion that is close to someone as an emotional element of love. Intimacy involves mutual comprehension, intimate dialogue, and emotional support. And intimacy exists not only in love between a man and a woman, but also among close friends or between parents and children. Passion includes physical attractiveness and sexual desire as motivational elements of love. Passion is generally the first element of love that appears at the moment of feeling love, but it is also the first element to disappear in an old relationship. This passion exists only in love between men and women. The covenant is a cognitive element to keep the relationship, and it is a responsibility to continue the relationship. Passion comes and goes and disappears, and the covenant is kept whenever it is satisfactory or dissatisfied. The love with these three components proportionately existing is considered as good, and one sided love is not considered as good. The first condition for becoming rich is to love what you do now. Because love brings the energy needed to make a profit. If you have a passion for love, you can solve 90% of everything. The world is as visible as you know, and you can get as much as you are interested. Love becomes a wonderful transaction that returns as much as you give. First, you must love yourself and respect yourself. It is out of order to love another person or things without loving oneself and his job. According to the Bible, the love is patient and kind, never jealous, boastful, proud, or rude. Love is not selfish or quick tempered. It does not keep a record of wrongs that others do. Love rejoices in the truth, but not in evil. Love is always supportive, loyal, hopeful, and trusting. Love never fails. Love is responsibility and intention to solve problems. You can see the world as much as you know and get it as much as you pay attention to. Love will be a smart trade, getting back as much as you give. First, you have to love yourself. There is a concern that you would be fallen into self-deception if you love others without loving yourself. You have to love yourself sincerely, and then pay attention to your neighbors. Love things besides you first, and then everything in the neighborhood. Then the world with very bright color and hope will come to you. Love and happiness are always accompanied. You are happy because you love, and you can love because you are happy. It is not others' share but yours that you love your life and your dream. And fulfilling dreams is loving life. Love your life, and love your dream.